here I am today with Elizabeth Osder. Elizabeth, hi.
Hi.
Tell us a little about yourself.
Well, I'm visiting you from Los Angeles, California, and I've had a 30-year career really developing much of what we know as the internet and media. And I've been a journalist, an educator, a consultant, and many, many jobs along the way. And with that, I've also been a professor. And so I had an opportunity to think about my work. And one thing I love to do is have a chance to teach and work with children occasionally. And so I was able to put together some thoughts on the history of communications and media and come to visit you all at this beautiful place.
Cool. What did you do with kids?
Here?
Yeah.
Well, I had a chance to come. I was invited by my old friends to come and visit the chateau to teach a course on communications and media. What we did with the kids was really a lot of fun. We took them on a journey through the history of time, talking about the history of communications from cave paintings and smoke signals up until the internet and the world that we live in today, which is quite complex. And so we mapped that out, which is a wonderful way to take a journey through the history of Western civilization, or in fact all civilization, because everything appears in the story of communications, whether it's fine art, whether it's the Pony Express and moving signals around. It's just one of these great topics. So I think the kids quite enjoyed seeing the lens of history seeing the story of history through the lens of communication. And so we talked about that for the first session. In the second session, we talked a little bit about the kinds of communication that exist out there. Obviously, there's been many over the years, but since the invention of the printing press, you've had mass media, you've had advertising, public relations, social media. And so we really talked about the different kinds of media and messaging and how they developed. And then the final thing we did was we really developed stories and an understanding of how to tell a story and communicate it using different sorts of media. And part of that for the younger kids was a creative project in sort of developing a storyboard and figuring out how to tell that story of their new ideas. And we had them tell it as a product. So somebody came up with, say, a computer game, and they told the story as a product. Then they told the story as an advertiser trying to sell that product. And then they told that story as a journalist reporting on that product and how people enjoy it. And so we had this sort of 360-degree experience of how to think about the ways these children are communicated in the world today. And then for the older students, we did something similar, which was talk about the story of advertising and journalism, how things are covered, and then a deeper look at political communication and the role of journalism in society and storytelling. So that's a long story long, but in 4 classes, I think we had a lot of fun and we covered a lot of ground.
Well, that's a lot in 4 classes.
It was fun.
That's intense.
It was a great journey for both myself and I hope the students as well.
Did you enjoy it?
I had a great time. I mean, what more could somebody ask than to come to, first of all, a magnificent place that's filled with love and learning. And this school is so special in the sense that each one of these children has one-on-one individual attention for the way that they learn best, yet they get to participate in this group activity in this beautiful chateau. We can talk about blended learning or online learning, all these terms that are out there, but to come and to see this place and the way that Sallay has crafted what I think is a unique educational experience is very, very different. I think the kids are part of something that is new, forward-looking, and I think quite innovative in the best way to learn in a modern world, between being someplace with a cohort and also being online with the best of professors all the time. So it's really quite special.
What was, let's say, the best thing you've liked about Sallay?
Well, for me, I think once I got to know them, I think the best thing about it is to know the students that come here. What a gift it is to travel across an ocean, from California, and to land someplace and have the challenge. It's kind of intimidating, even though I have a lot of work experience and I'm a big-time professional. I have a big job and a big career. but it's always humbling to be a little scared. And I said, you know, what can I teach these savvy young people? So I think that the best experience was being a little frightened the first day and sort of navigating what's the best way to share what I have to share with them about my life, my work, and my career in the way that's best for them to learn.
I remember you told me, I like this experience because I'm fearless, and I was a little afraid in the first day.
I am fearless and I was a little afraid. And I think the beautiful thing, you know, the arc of any journey, and I hope the students went on one with me as well, is to go from everybody being a little uncomfortable and scared to say, what are we going to do together? And by the end have that sense of teamwork. And I think the greatest gift for any teacher is the ability to think that you actually learned and taught. And so what I got from, remarkably for me, middle school students, you know, 11 to 14 years of age, is a chance to have these young, bright minds teach me to look at what I love in new ways, and me to start the conversation with telling them about what I know and I thought would be interesting to them.
Would you come to visit us again?
I absolutely would. And I'd actually say the other thing besides the students was there's a tremendous cohort of teachers that are here. I didn't know when I was coming that I would not only have this wonderful community of students, be in this extremely beautiful place, but also have these colleagues. I mean, there's so many subject matter experts on all of the great topics who are teaching collaboratively every day with such passion and really unlocking fresh curriculum every day, not rote stuff, to, you know, to connect with the students. And so I just had the best time meeting a whole bunch of new colleagues, and I certainly hope I could come back.
I hope you'll find time and chance to come back again.
Well, I highly recommend it to anybody who could get this gig. It's pretty good. So.
Thank you so much.
No problem. I think it's a wonderful school. And I really feel that, you know, it's a young school, and it's like I've been part of planting the seed. And, you know, I'm really excited to see how this place grows over the next few years, because I think it's going in a new direction. And I think that we talk about all this innovation, entrepreneurship, and a new world we live in, but what better way to connect the new world with the old world, the classics with the modern world. And so I just think it's a very cool experience, one that's enlivens the life of the mind in every way. So thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming.